How's it going? How do you even start a video like this, really? So, I guess I'll just start from the beginning. Sometimes life can be kind of hard, you know? It's not always easy, and even when you think you've got it all figured out, sometimes you don't. Like, there are people who are Christians or anybody that really has everything they need to try and make themselves feel as good as possible day by day that still don't really feel good because either it's their job or their relationships or school or how they feel about themselves, their self-esteem. And I think that's, in a way, just kind of how life goes sometimes. It's just stressful and there's not much you can do about it. You're probably wondering what this has to do with anything, but I'll get to that. I mean, you probably saw the title of the video, so you get at least a sort of idea about what this is about and why I'm making it. Because, you see, it's really cheesy, but ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to embody something heroic or inspiring. I wanted to inspire people, and like the people that inspired me. And being a little bit absent on YouTube doesn't always help that. I am getting better, though. I'm making more art. I'm actually being more productive each day, sort of, because I got a new job, and it hasn't been the least stressful experience. It's been pretty stressful, but when I was, I think it was about it was a year ago. I don't know why I'm saying I think it was. I was really, really depressed. I've been bullied my whole life. Part of my family thinks I'm a loser. I was born premature, so I'm a very small 21-year-old man. I look like 15 maybe, but I'm 21. I'm legally allowed to drink. I don't think it would matter if I brought an ID to a bar. They'd just think it was fake and kick me out the door. I don't really have any plans to drink, so I guess that doesn't matter, but I made a lot of poor decisions throughout life. They're mostly due to the fact because I felt like I had nowhere else to go. And I think last year I probably made one of the worst. See, I recorded this video before, and I felt like it was really well structured and well thought out. I don't have a script or anything because I just wanted to speak from the heart and, have this sort of comfy, feels like you're just talking to a friend kind of feeling. But the audio broke. It was completely corrupted. I couldn't salvage it. Last year, I was in a very, very dark place. I was depressed. I had been for about 2 years. I had my first complete, breakdown in May of last year. I was just totally distraught and or was it May of last year? No, I'm getting years mixed up. Was it 2 years ago now? That doesn't seem right. That's crazy. It was 2 years ago now, actually. Or was it? I don't know, man. I'm getting confused. I'm sorry. Yeah, 2 years ago. I think it was 2017. It was 2017, yeah. In 2017, I was very, very severely depressed, and I was in a toxic relationship. It started out fine, but they always start out fine. That wasn't why I had been depressed for about 2 years. I didn't know where my life was going or how to handle it, and the weight of all the pressure of the fact that, hey, you're grown up now, you gotta figure everything out. There you go. It was really weighing heavy on me. And the fact that I was constantly told when I was younger that I would never amount to anything didn't really help at all either. And so a couple of days before Thanksgiving, I grabbed a belt when I was in the closet in there, and I wrapped it around my neck, and I hung it up on where I hang my clothes. I stood on a chair, or stool, I mean, and I kicked it over. And I hung there for about 3 seconds, and because I'm really bad at tying, the belt came undone. And I laid on the floor for like, I think 2 hours, maybe more, maybe 3, just sobbing uncontrollably because I realized what I had just done. And that wasn't even the end of it. I'm 21 and I've already tried to take my own life twice. I've contemplated it 5 other times. I planned it out 5 other times and didn't go through with it. The other time I put a gun under my mouth. And you're probably wondering, well, why are you saying this? Well, as you can see, I'm still here. And I may not be able to speak much for clinical depression because it's genetic and there's not really a cure. But if you're going through a bad spot or you feel like you've been depressed for a long time because of the way that life, like the hand that you've been dealt by life, I just wanted to help in a way, I guess, in the best way I could and just speak from the heart, because after the second time when I put a gun under my head, the reason I stopped, or at least part of it, was because I had wrote something on my bulletin board right over there that just said, stay alive for them. Because even though I couldn't care for myself at all, and I felt completely broken and destroyed and like there was absolutely no hope that my life would go anywhere, and I hated myself, I knew that there were people like Kelsey or Hyphen or Noah or Eric or Kane. Well, I hadn't met him at that point. Or my family, part of my family anyway. I still am not entirely sure if another part of them really would have cared that much, which is kind of sad. They don't really treat me like I'm super welcome, or at least I don't feel like they do. But I knew that there were people who would care, and that's why I stopped. And you may be completely alone and you feel like there's absolutely nobody that'll care. But take it from someone who is in that spot that there are people who will listen to you. It doesn't matter how cynical and gray your worldview gets or how pessimistic you become. There's always just that tiny little shred of hope. Just, it's there. There are people who care. They don't even know you, but they have gone through what you've gone through, and that's why they care. And that's why I'm making this. Yeah, the last version was way longer, and maybe it had more consistency to it before the audio corrupted. But I wanted to get straight to the point with this one, and it's been 8 minutes, as I can see from the camera, so I kind of failed. But life's not always easy. And sometimes it's for small things, but you shouldn't let anybody tell you that makes what you're going through even less important than what someone else is going through, because we all have our own trials that will break us and hit us hard. We're all a bunch of broken half people walking around trying to fill a hole in here that's very, very difficult to fill. Now, I am a Christian, so obviously I do my best to fill that hole with God, but at the same time, as someone who is a Christian and a realist kind of Christian, I can tell you that not all your prayers get answered. And that's hard to swallow. You see, humans are social creatures, and people are really important. The only thing that got me through what I went through was because I finally stopped acting like I would be weak if I somehow let my guard down, because there was a part of me that didn't want to die. It was just because I was tired of being in pain. And so I sought people out, and I got help from them. Listen, I made this video for 2 people. One of them is you. Because I know there's at least one person probably watching this video who is going through something like this. And I wanted you to just hear from someone that it can get better. It will take work. I'm not just going to tell you that the sunshine is going to come through at one point, because it doesn't usually work like that. You have to work at it. And I know that's hard when you're depressed. Believe me, I know. When you sleep through almost the entire day, or maybe you don't sleep through the entire day, but you just don't do anything. You eat because you know you have to, or sometimes you don't even do that. But you just sit and you exist. You're alive, but you don't really feel it. There are different things that help people, and while reinstating that there are people who care about me and who look up to me is what helped me, as well as reinstating my faith in a way, I know that's not for everyone. If you are the person who's suffering, yeah, you, right there, I'm not talking to an audience, you specifically, if you're suffering, I want you to know you can make it. You can make it. And if you push through it with everything you've got, even if you feel like you've got nothing left, you will make it. Life's not always easy, but it's also what we make of it. But at the same time, I'm not trying to be a bro storm life coach guy and tell you, if you just go outside, depression will end, because that's not how it works. You have to work at what helps you. You have to work at finding what will help you get out of that hole. Maybe it is God. Maybe it's friends. Maybe it's family. Maybe it's reuniting with someone you split up from. Unless they're really toxic, don't do that. That's very unhealthy. Maybe it's getting a cat. I really don't know what would help everyone, because I'm one soul man. But I'm also making this video for myself, because recently, I think I mentioned it, got a really stressful job. At least stressful sometimes. Like really, really stressful. So I'm also making this for myself. Because if I ever want to reach my goals, I have to be alive. And if you ever want to reach yours, you also have to be alive. Life is worth living, even though it's difficult. And all the pain you're feeling will eventually make you stronger, but it's going to take a while. I don't know if this is inspiring or really all that helpful, but I really felt like making this video, and I really wanted to, because I feel like there's someone out there suffering who's gone through what I've gone through. And I want you to know that if you're a fan of this channel, or even if you're someone who just stumbled across this video because you're feeling down, that someone else went through what you went through, and they made it out. And if someone like me, who everybody told is, not everybody, that's an over-exaggeration, who most people in his life told it was completely worthless, that he'll never amount to anything, that he's a loser, that he should die, that his family should have abandoned him, that he shouldn't have lived through his birth, all sorts of stuff like that. If someone who all of the cards were stacked against, could make it, you can. And I believe in you. I believe that you can if I could. I sincerely hope you'll look for help. And I sincerely hope, if you want, that I can help you in some way. Life will get a little bit easier. I promise. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of time.